What's up? This is before here after. Signing in with another video. Hope you've been taking care of yourself today. Hope you've been evolving and focusing on you, because that's the most important thing. And I was here before, I'm here now, and I'll be here after. So I was feeling real down and like out of my shit earlier, and I did my best not to escape my emotions and run away from my pain, because I was going through certain turmoil based on basically based on some shit that I just had on my mind. But what I want to put some of y'all onto right now is food, because food is medicine, for real, for real. I got my bag right here by my side, and I'm gonna show you what's in this bag. that's my magical bag. I got magic in there. I'm about to show you some of the stuff I got in there. And my bag is always being upgraded. I'm always flipping shit around, looking for new things to add in there, stuff like that. So, whew. The food you put in your body, okay? The food you put in your body literally determines how you're gonna feel. How are you gonna feel about yourself? How are you gonna feel in general? Are you gonna feel really good? Are you gonna feel depressed? Are you gonna feel anxiety? Food does that. Food has the power to do that. I was watching some of my older videos back just recently, and I noticed how I felt when I was vegan and when I was eating like alkaline and plant-based, which I felt like way different. And I just kind of just putting the third eye on myself, third eye of truth, full universal knowledge tapped in, pointing it right at me. I just kind of started paying attention to my life, different things I eat, different places I ate, different times I ate, and how I felt during those times. Now, I'm about to show y'all some of the stuff I eat, just to kind of show y'all the examples of what I talk about when I say eat good stuff, eat organic stuff, eat stuff that's good for your body. The food you eat literally determines if you're gonna break out of that spell. Y'all realize that we're under a huge amount of influence constantly. When you're watching TV on Netflix, as I mentioned in one of my previous videos recently, when you're watching any TV show, you're under a sort of programming. Whatever it is that you're watching, whatever the programming is, whether it's certain actors portraying a certain character, and they put this character in the spotlight, they make this character the hero, and that character has flawed behaviors that are low vibration, okay? That is literally programming you in your mind to want to behave that way. And that's the crazy part, is because you believe that's the hero. The hero behaves that way, so you behave that way. What's up with all the artists and the rappers in the music industry? Why do they have such low vibrational level behavior? Why are they the ones who make all the money, who have the status, the power? They're viewed in society as people who are significant. This is the biggest level of psychological play on your mind. It starts in the mind. They play you mentally first before they fuck you up spiritually. Everything is spiritual, though. These artists, these rappers, these actors, these people who direct these TV shows, they're under a sort of spirit when they create this. How did the TV show come? How did the music come? It came from a thought. The key is, what vibrational frequency was that creation made from? What was the vibrational frequency of the thought that the creation came from? That's what you gotta pay attention to. With your third eye of truth, it'll pick up on all the subtle things you don't see in the background. So when you start eating better, it gives you a higher vibrational frequency, so you can see these things and catch yourself and pull yourself out of that trance. They put you in a trance. It's a spell. Hollywood. I can't remember, but the YouTuber Infinite Waters mentioned this. Shout out to Infinite Waters. He said something about Hollywood, basically Hollywood in an ancient like language or something. Hollywood meaning spell, like a place of spells where they cast spells. Now, you look that up on your own. I want to look that up later, see what that's about. But we're always being broadcasted. If you live in the city, if you live in any major city, if you live in a city period, if you live in the suburbs, if you live in America in this modern time in 2020, August, getting into September, there's a lot of control you're under constantly. It's different spells. So, without further ado, I won't keep y'all waiting no longer. I'm going to show y'all some of the stuff that I eat to help me raise my vibrational frequency. So I can come on here and offer you guys this level of truth, this level of this authenticity to the best of my ability. Because I regard myself to the highest of vibrational frequencies. I regard myself as a king. So I'm projecting my words and the value I give to you with that understanding of myself. And you should too. Learn the game. Learn the game, okay? I'm about to put you on game. I'm about to put you on game right now. Onto some of the game, how you can evolve and raise your vibrational frequency so you can learn to play the game at a higher vibrational frequency. Because you can play the game at a lower vibrational frequency, but you'll get things in that vibrational frequency if you do that. Or you can have things in the vibrational frequency of the high level. Okay? Alright, so let's get into it. Let me show you. Let me show you what I eat. Alright, so first, I'll show y'all. I love avocado. And I like salt. I like salt, but I don't like regular salt. I read somewhere that regular salt, like white sugar, is bleached. And from just observing with my third eye, eating white salt, eating white sugar, that shit has an effect on me. It literally feels like I'm under possession of a spirit when I eat regular salt, regular white sugar. I don't fuck with that. What I do mess with is sea salt. So sea salt and brown sugar, but I don't even like brown sugar. I like honey and agave. So that's my choice of sweeteners. More natural sweeteners. Honey is the best thing for you. Honey's really good for you. I like to put honey in my nuts. I like to put honey in different places. But this little avocado, I'm gonna cover the branding, but this little avocado mash. Usually I get avocados whole by themselves, but in this case I just picked up this little thing to put it as a dip for like a dip with celery sticks. So I took some celery sticks and I was eating this earlier, and I was dipping it in this. So this has sea salt and black pepper in it, and in the back it also says it has lemon juice in there. So whenever I eat that, I feel pretty good. I was feeling really good eating that. And right now I'm not vegan, but it's something that I'm really thinking about and planning on proactively moving myself back to that state of eating. Because as I was telling y'all when I first started this video, I was looking at my old videos while I was vegan, and I noticed a certain vibrational frequency I was operating from, and I really fuck with that frequency, and I want to be able to tap into that again. So I'm gonna try to experiment and see if I can go vegan, and if my DNA, if my biology will allow me to do it, and I will make sure I do my best to make sure I stay congruent with what I'm eating so that it's not fluctuating and I'm not messing with all the different stuff that I put in. So right now, because I'm not vegan, right, I eat organic meat. this, I'm just gonna show you the brand, whatever. So this is some chicken breast strips. As you can see, it says all natural, 100% all natural, non-GMO ingredients. It's whole grain, and so meaning like the breading is whole grain. And then it says right here, the chickens are fed on a 100% veggie diet and no hormones and steroids added. That's what that says. You know, if I did want to eat my own meat properly, what I would ideally do is get a bow and arrow and goddamn go hunt my own chickens out in the wild. That's the best way to go about it, because then I know exactly the type of energy and frequency I'm killing that animal with love and prayer, and you know, because I'm doing that from my heart space. Everything is energy, everything is vibrational frequency. So if the people who killed the chicken, they were on some dark ass energy type shit, that's going into that food. But for me, eating that chicken and experimenting, I've been feeling really good for the past few days. So, that's that. That's the chicken I eat. And then I always try to have like a holistic diet. So I try to put different colors and different stuff in there, right? So what I ate earlier was a bowl of nuts. So I ate a bowl, these right here. So there's some cashews in here, there's some almonds, there's some pistachios, there's some walnuts, and it's got some hazelnuts in there. I took that, and what I usually like to do is I like to throw some organic peanut butter in there too, but I just ran out of it. But what I did earlier is I took some organic honey, raw honey right here. Organic raw honey. Threw a bunch of that in there. And I took some, yeah, I should have the package still. I'll show y'all right here. I'm about to show y'all my one of my most favorite things I love to eat, which is cacao in dark chocolate form. And I know there's like better brands and shit, but I just picked up this one from the store real quick, and just like extreme dark chocolate. It's all fucking brown and shit, covered in with chocolate. As you can see, I finished that hoe. But that's pretty good. So I threw that in there with the honey and the nuts, and then I mixed all that up and I just ate that. And it's amazing because it's sweet, and it fills you up because of the nuts, and the nuts are good. It makes me feel good. And then I follow that up with that chicken I showed y'all, and I put that in a salad. So here, if I still walking back to the kitchen here again, if I still have a box, I'll show y'all. Where the hell is it? Well, right here, I threw some organic mint in there too in the salad. I read somewhere that mint was good for you, and it feels pretty good to eat. Just judging based on my intuition, because that's how I do all this. Whenever I eat, I do it based off how I feel. So if I eat something and I feel a certain way, I pay attention to how I feel. And if it makes me feel good, makes me feel clear-minded, I eat more of that. Now, I'm just showing y'all what I ate today, and this is very general. And this kind of the way I ate today is honestly like a pretty well-rounded way that you could really eat every day. Like what I ate today, what I'm showing y'all what I ate today is basically how I eat most of the time, or is basically how I try to eat most of the time. So right here, okay, I put the chicken, I made a little salad, right? Like, this shit is so easy. Eating healthy is easy. You just literally gotta get out of your own way, in the sense where you think it doesn't taste as good. It's like something that tastes good but it's terrible for you. Like pizza tastes really good but it's shit for you, right? Cheesecakes taste really good but it's shit for you. It's terrible for your body. Your body has a hard time breaking it down. And the funny thing is, shit like that causes cancer. So, and just looking at the alkaline plant-based diet, if you go look up Dr. Sebi right now, the U.S. government gave that motherfucker a hard time. They gave Dr. Sebi such a hard time. They gave him a hard time, but you know what? His vibrational frequency was so in tune. It was so in tune. He literally like gave no fucks and continued his mission on this planet. And he continued doing what he was doing. So the government couldn't fuck with him. Nobody could fuck with him. He continued doing his mission, which is to help awaken people to the plant-based alkaline diet, which is the most highest vibrational diet supposedly. So that's how I initially got into all this health food, right? So I'll get back to Dr. Sebi in here in a second. Let me finish up showing y'all what I was eating today. So then I put in my salad some organic leafy mix. So this right here has some spinach, mazula, chard, and kale. The two main things are the spinach and the kale. And I know chard is really good for you too. It says on here as vitamin A and C, but it's pretty obvious that plants, photosynthesis, they have sun energy in them. Plants that grow organically outside and not in a lab. See, I have no way to tell if this right here was grown in a lab or not, but I'm assuming that it was grown outside organically, as it says right here. But there's no way to tell if it was grown outside, but I'm assuming it's like that. And just the way I feel when I eat this, I feel pretty good. Ideally, what I would want to do is have my own garden, grow my own stuff, including my own marijuana. Because, yeah, they put a lot of pesticides in that. So I would want to grow everything myself. I would want to raise my own chickens, or if I wouldn't want to even raise any chickens, I would want to go to a place where I would know that there's wild animals that I could just hunt. And I would want to learn archery to then take my bow and arrow and then and do it with love and prayer, you know? That's if I wanted to eat animals. Like I said, I am thinking about going back to a plant-based diet. So coming back real quick, I'm about to show you guys what I take from my herbs. This right here is what really helps me ascend my vibrational frequency. I'm really about to put you on right now, because these herbs are no joke. These herbs straight up save me on a regular basis. Every time I take these herbs, I feel so much more powerful. I feel so much better. I'm gonna walk over here and take a sip of water as I'm talking. But these herbs right here have a lot of different nutrients and a lot of different things in them that work on the body in different parts of the body, that cleanse different parts of the body, that cure different ailments. And basically they rid lower vibrational frequencies in the body. And it manifests physically by them literally on a cellular basis curing whatever it is that's messing, that isn't in harmony with your body, that doesn't belong in there. Basically whatever doesn't harmonize and doesn't belong in your body, it helps to rid that negative energy, rid that spirit on a spiritual basis. The spiritual vibration of those herbs is very high. The spiritual vibration, most of the stuff I'm showing y'all, is very high with the foods I eat. So it's a spiritual thing. You gotta be able to sense the spiritual vibrational frequency of the foods. And the way you do that is by experimenting and by making yourself way more sensitive, allowing yourself to be way more sensitive to not only the good stuff in life, but to the darker forces in life. Because that stuff, when you're aware of the darker forces in life, you're aware of the psychological war that we're all under right now with our government, with our society, with the one world order that's established and being established. But it's a goddamn spiritual war. It's a war ain't over. Love always wins. So that's something I like to believe. Love does always conquer. Love always does. So all of these foods right here are closer to the vibrational love, because that chicken, even though it's still still an animal that died and gave his life for that food. That chicken is at a higher vibrational frequency than the chicken and the meat that's monetized and blasted in everybody's face in the society we live in, which is KFC, Popeyes, motherfucking fast food. Most restaurants, most places you see, most grocery shops you go to, most of the chicken is not grass-fed, it's not organic. The animals aren't taken care of. They're not given a free range environment where they can walk and move around and be out in the sun and play like that, where they have a better life. Actually, those animals, most of the animals that y'all eat, they are under a lot of stress because of the closed toxic environments they're in, and they're under a lot of confusion and just a lot of pain, right? Because that environment they're put in, imagine you going to work, right? You work at a factory. And you may work on a factory right now. But let's say, just as an example, someone's working at a factory. Let's say you work at a factory. You go to work every day at a factory. Instead of being out in the sun during sun time hours, that's what I'm calling it, sun time hours. During sun time hours, which is from in sunrise to sunset, sun time hours, okay? Let's say during sun time hours, you're just at work. You're slaving away at a factory inside, no sunlight. Sure, you get the breaks. So during the breaks, maybe you go outside and get some sunlight, and that's how you keep it going. But let's say you don't even get no breaks, right? Let's say you're inside from sunrise to sunset. Now, why are most jobs a 9 to 5? Why are most jobs a 9 to 5? Why are most jobs during the time where the sun is the most at its most potency outside? They literally want you to get no sunlight to get this kind of information, because when you sit in the sun, this is also another way to become more sensitive. Because if you watch my other video I posted yesterday, I was sitting in the sun, sunbathing, and making that video for y'all. Now, when I go in the sun, I let myself sit in the sun for a while. I let myself sweat a lot. I let myself sweat motherfucking buckets. Okay, I let myself really sweat. Now you might not be able to handle that kind of heat, especially if you're white. You might get sunburned, and maybe you may be more susceptible to things, shit like skin cancer. But see, most of that shit will be resolved. In your tolerance to the sun will be even higher if you eat better. So if you start eating the shit that I'm talking about right here, your tolerance to the sun will get a bit better. So you'll be able to sit in the sun for longer. And not only that, but you can sun gaze. You can handle the sun rays through your eyes even more and for longer periods of time, which is powerful. And vice versa. If you actually sit in the sun, let yourself sweat and kind of detoxify yourself from skin, right? You're naturally going to want to eat better too. So it both goes hand in hand. It's like the trifecta effect. It's mind, body, and spirit. Whenever you work on one, you work on both. You understand? If I develop myself intellectually, I'm also kind of developing myself in a way, a little bit spiritually and a little bit physically. It may not seem like it, but because whatever I intellectually develop, some of that stuff will manifest in the physical, whether I try it or not. Okay, but if I consciously do it on each individual basis, if I physically focus on myself, so I say I'm working and I'm exercising, so I'm physically doing that work. Well, that physical work is also gonna rub off into the mental and into the spiritual. So if I'm physically feeling good and I'm putting in my work to exercise and work out, then mentally I'm gonna be sharper to then get better intellectually, and then spiritually I'm gonna be better because I'm gonna be more grounded in my body and I'm gonna feel better in my body. So then my spirit has literally a better vessel to rest in. So, and then going back to the other one, going to the other one, spiritual, right? If you go to spiritual and you work on yourself spiritually, you're going to develop mentally and physically also, because you develop yourself spiritually, you're tapped into universal consciousness, universal intelligence, you're tapped into source knowledge, source energy. And when you're tapped into all these different frequencies, go figure. So, I don't want to keep y'all waiting any longer. I know y'all want to see these herbs. And I'm after I show y'all these herbs real quick, I'm going to go ahead and talk about Dr. Sebi. Alright, so here we go, right? So, this is one of my favorite like roots. So, this is a root right here, and this root that I take, it really helps me like with my testosterone levels, helps me with my energy levels. Not only that, but this root makes me feel like really good. Like all this shit makes me feel really good, but this root right here makes me feel like Superman. Literally, like this right here has a lot of like medicinal benefits to it, and it has a lot of just healing properties naturally with this root. And if you kind of just read the back of it, it literally tells you. So I'll read that here for y'all a little bit in a second. But so, what is this root? It's ashwagandha powder. So ashwagandha powder. So I think this is like an Ayurvedic root, and it comes from like the Eastern. It's more prominent in the Eastern areas of the world. So here on the back, what it says about ashwagandha is that it's a highly prized adaptogenic superroot used frequently in Ayurvedic medicine, which is basically like India and Eastern culture, like what I was just saying. All right, used frequently in Ayurvedic medicine to increase vitality, relieve stress, and boost brain and cognitive function. So it helps you get energy, and energizes your mind, it energizes your body. So it kind of just moves your energy around in your body, and it just has like natural testosterone boosting kind of properties in there, where basically like it relieves stress and it makes you feel better. Like I said, it makes you feel really good. Adaptogens are known for the ability to help our bodies to adapt to environment and emotional stressors. Blah blah blah. Oh yeah, and this does like taste. It's more of like a earthy flavor, earthy taste. So what I do with ashwagandha is I put this in my tea. I mix it in with my tea. I mix it in with my tea with the other stuff that I'm about to show you. All right, so let's move on. Next one. Right here, I got this little mix, this mushroom mix, and it has these 6 different mushrooms in there. And I've heard of these 6 different mushrooms, and I know that all of these 6 different mushrooms are like really good for you